Fly uptown when I'm feeling down. I wanna do retail therapy. Be with the gang all week. I need some female energy.
So what do I mainly resell? So I resell a lot of Jordans. So that includes off-white and like just general releases. So for example, like Jordan 1 mids. We also sell dunks and we do a lot of Yeezys. I've been reselling for 2 years, so that's when I first started my page. My page is Gorilla Sneaks if you want to follow that. And I've always been into trainers and like just like the hypebeast culture really. So I first started reselling when I was basically 16, currently 18 right now, and I have bigger plans in the future to open my own store. I'm currently working on that. Currently got a pop-up store in West Brom. So if you're ever in West Brom, just head to the Old Square and you'll see a little pop-up there. Just like Jordan 4s, just whatever general releases really, and good affordable prices compared to other sneaker stores, so you can always grab yourself a good deal there. How I got into reselling was, to be honest, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos of other people like reviewing sneakers and stuff. And so for example like Kais Omar, that's probably one of the first people. So he used to do a lot of skits, so I felt like when he started doing reselling as well, that got me onto it, and I was like, oh, you can make good money out of this. You can also make a living out of this. Since the pandemic, definitely in general I would say people have jumped onto the reselling game 100%. Like for example, outside Foot Locker now, you have a lot of queues for like people to go into the shop and try get a Jordan for example, but it's very hard to get that now because there's too many resellers now. Like everyone's reselling all sorts now. Like people are reselling graphic cards. Like nobody ever thought graphic cards were gonna resell. Just your like normal everyday use of things, like for example barbecues. Like who thought barbecues were gonna resell in the summer? Yeah, definitely people think it's an easy way to make money, but that's not always the case, to be honest, because in the reselling game you need to have your knowledge. So if you're in the sneaker reselling, you definitely need knowledge, because there's a lot of fakes right now and they're going through like big places. For example StockX, they're still making silly mistakes, they're letting through fakes, but that's like another story. But generally you need a lot of knowledge, I would say. So for example, like you need to know how to use spreadsheets, for example. I would say that's a big thing you need to know how to use. So for your cash flow, and it can help you in a lot of things in the future. By reselling you gain a lot of business knowledge. So for example, supply and demand is a simple one. Supply demand, also clearly you gain a lot of knowledge when you're reselling. So the most popular for me, I think it's Jordan 1 mids and Jordan 4s. Like in Birmingham right now, if you walk in, you're gonna see so many people wearing mids, so I would 100% say mids. Jordan 4s I would say is another popular one, because I've sold a lot of Jordan 4s in Birmingham, so that clearly shows there's demand for Jordan 4s in Birmingham. Even if you just walk into like Bullring, where we are right now, there's a lot of Jordan 4s and Jordan mids on. You do get a few Jordan 1s, but I think mids, because it's cheaper and a lot easier to get, a lot of people are wearing them. They want to spend around 150. 150 doesn't get you a lot in the sneaker game, but so that clearly shows again that mids are really popular, because mids you can get for 150 for resale. But at my consignment store, mids are going for like at least £200. So if you go to a different store, it's going to be a different price. But like I said, you should always go for a local reseller, and as again you need to know your knowledge, so you're not getting scammed, you're not going to get a fake shoe. So they're at least spending like 150 to 200 easily. That's like the normal budget, but like for an ordinary person or someone who genuinely wants the shoe, they're happy to pay at least 350. That's very common, I would say, 350 for a shoe now. Back in the days, people wouldn't even spend like £100, but look at it now, Jordan 4's 350, they'll happily pay that and they'll be happy with the shoes. Yeah, 100%. So a lot of children and like teenagers, they definitely want to have the latest trend. So for example, like TikTok, they set a trend for like Jordan 4s, to be honest. So Jordan 4s weren't as popular, but it came on TikTok. They've made a song Jordan 4s or Jordan 1s, and the sales went crazy on that. But yeah, 100% they'll definitely want to pay to 150, 200 pounds, even to 350. Like I said, they'll happily pay that. Since the pandemic came in, I would say Trapstar is like up their game a lot. They made it a bit exclusive, so like the resale game came with that because they made it exclusive. And the last 2 years, 100%, a lot of people are wearing Trapstar now. Like today we've seen like 5 people already be wearing Trapstar coats. Like that just shows like people do wear Trapstar and people are willing to pay the money for it for resale. Before, I have seen loads of people queuing up here before for a Trapstar. I'm guessing there must have been like a restock or something, or they had stock. But personally, I don't go into store to pick up anything from Trapstar. I'll just buy it online. I just find that easier and a lot of saving time. Yeah, I would say Trapstar sells very quick, I would say, especially on eBay and Depop. That's probably the 2 biggest like platforms to sell it on. Whereas I sell mine mainly through Instagram, which again is Gorilla Sneaks. I usually price my coats around 280 to 300, but every color, every size, all changes prices, so it's not guaranteed to have like a certain price, I would say. Is it more profitable than shoes? No, I wouldn't say so. So for example, Jordan 1 mids, quite easy to get. You can get them in store as well. You can flip that for £50, less stress, and you have a big like 28 return days, most stops. Whereas Trapstar is a very long process. It takes about like sometimes a month just to arrive, and so that's like what, £200 that you're missing for a whole month. Whereas you could have brought 2 Jordan 1 mids and you could have made bigger profits, so £100. Whereas one Trapstar coat's only gonna get you what, £50. If you're a big reseller, then 100% go for it, and if you have bots, 100%. But if you're just like a really small reseller who's just started, I would not advise getting Trapstar. So reselling in Birmingham is very hard compared to like London, for example. There's not many in-store releases, but there are in a few locations which are unnamed currently. But yeah, I would say in Birmingham it's quite hard to get in store, but if you have the right contacts, which you should get eventually when you're reselling, there's always a way of getting stuff in store. Best online platforms are eBay, Depop, and then your Instagram page. The only reason I'm saying Instagram page last, because if you're a new reseller, you're not gonna get much clientele because you need to get your followers and references up. My Instagram is Gorilla Sneaks, and we have Snapchat also, which is Gorilla Sneaks. The store is a consignment store. It's just a little pop-up, so you can buy, sell, trade there. That's in West Brom, in the old square, inside John's Jewel Box, and you'll find us there.
And an outro, can I get I'm broke, baby?
I'm broke, baby.
Hey.
Fly up town when I'm feeling down. I wanna do retail therapy. Be with a gang all week. I need some female energy.